This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
You're plugged in for the Podcast Wrestling Society, where you can get dynamic weekly pro wrestling and MMA-related content. Give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PODWRES Society so that you can stay in the know.
Faith is the place. The sky's the limit.
And if you like what you hear, give us a 5-star review and hit that subscribe button.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Now, your host, he is the one and only Troy Adams.
Welcome to PWS. It's the Podcast Wrestling Society for Wrestling Wednesday. I'm your loving leader, benevolent host, Midwest Monster, and the undisputed king of the world of podcasting, Troy Adams. And joining me today, he wants you all to please shut the hell up. He is the Triple H to my Stone Cold in this two-man podcasting power trip. He's Greg. What's up, Greg?
Stupid idiots.
You are not from Winnipeg, you stupid idiot, but you were in Toronto not too long ago.
Yes, I was. And
how did that go up in Canada?
Dude, it was so fun. I can't say enough of how great of a time I had up there.
That's awesome.
That cliche about all Canadians being nice, it's not a cliche. They really are.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I thought about with, like, Southern hospitality. Like, honestly, if none of you have been to, I mean, don't just pick a random place in the South. Like, I went, whenever I go down to Tennessee, everybody's, like, super nice. Like, beyond overly nice. It's ridiculous. So.
Yeah, it makes me, like, want to live there.
Yeah, right.
Like, I could totally be Canadian.
Yeah, it's just, you know, you people in California and us people above the Mason-Dixon line, I guess, we're all screwed. Everybody's rude and nasty, and they hate each other.
Yep.
How did the events go for you out in Toronto?
Dude, they were so great. NXT was one of the better ones I've ever been to. SummerSlam was beyond my expectation. Raw was fun.
Oh, you saw Raw? Nice.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say about the NXT show is, like, people are arguing over the main event. Like, because Uncle Dave gave it, I think, 4 stars or four.
Oh man, the opinion, man.
Yeah. Well, I will say this, and I'm not. You have to specify this because people will take it wrong. I'm not dogging on it. It was a fantastic match, but out of the 3, I think it was the weaker of the 3. I don't know. I don't know how you felt about it.
I can see that. They did have to use a cage for it, so yeah.
Yeah, and they teased 2 things that didn't come to fruition. Because you get the bag, and it's like, yay, tax! And it's like, oh, it's clippers. And it's like,
we
oh,
all booed that. I don't have that kid. I haven't watched it back yet, but yeah, I was booed.
Oh, yeah, you could hear it. And then he grabs the barbed wire, and it's like, yay, barbed wire! And it's like, oh, he didn't. But
come on, did you really think they were going to use either one of those things?
No, I didn't. But there was a split second where I was like, are they actually going to? Because, you know, after Vince McMahon gave that whole thing about AEW's barbaric. By the way, thumbtacks and barbed wire. Damn it. I was like, are they really going to? I'm like, oh, no, they didn't. But, I mean, you had to think it was tacks in the bag. I mean, that's just the thing. Yeah, that's just the wrestling thing. I mean, if it was a bigger bag, I would have thought, snake? But, because that's it. Small bag, tax. Big bag, snake. That's the way it's always been. But all in all, yeah, I enjoyed it. All you that want to listen 2 weeks ago, you can still go back and hear the great Taryn Bland was on, filling in for Greg to give his thoughts on TakeOver Toronto and SummerSlam. It is the last TakeOver before NXT officially moves to a 2-hour live format on the USA Network. I think that's going to be huge. And
Big league.
The weird thing is, I mentioned this to somebody before. I said it's kind of weird to say. I think Wednesday nights are going to be must-watch TV, like on both TNT and USA now, because both are relatively big channels. I know you're not super fond of AEW.
I don't think I'm going to call Thursday Wednesday must watch. It's still Tuesday to me, but I will watch.
For SmackDown?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, SmackDown's getting moved, next month? Or, no, October, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So...
if all goes right, I'll be at that show.
Where's the first SmackDown at?
Los Angeles.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's a long trek for you.
No, it's a 1 hour flight.
Oh, you're flying. Okay. Yeah, because didn't you... how long do you tell me it takes to get down there in a car?
5 hours.
Oh, wow. What? I was thinking it was longer than that. I don't know. Maybe it depends on traffic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Either way, last week you guys could listen to... Greg and I put that in the can, so we did not talk about his trip to Toronto because he hadn't left yet. But we had a great episode. It was a little long, but there was a lot to talk about. It was great stuff, and honestly, I had a hard time cutting anything because there wasn't anything like not important to talk about, or at least nothing that we didn't make interesting or funny or whatever. And we did a lot of burying of people. Last week, when we covered the night where Goldberg won the WCW title on Nitro, and The Undertaker cosplayed as Kane, while DX was cosplaying as the Nation of Domination. There was a lot of dress up on Raw that night. It was good stuff. I'd forgotten, by the way, The Undertaker did that twice.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So which one is the toy? Is it the mustache-less one where he's just got the beard, or is it the full goatee from that night?
I think it's the first one.
Okay. Yeah. I can't remember when he did it the second time. I'd have to go back and look at, because I was like in and out of watching during the Ministry era, so I gotta go back. But either way, yeah, I'm hoping NXT. I think 2 hours will do it a load of good. It's always been good stuff. I was talking to Ramon about it, and he said, like many people I've talked to, they said, dude, I watch TakeOver and that's it. I don't watch the weekly program. So this might actually get eyeballs on the weekly program.
I think I watched it for the past 8 or 9 months.
I like, I'll tune in, like I'll go back and watch it later if there's something that I'm seeing is getting a lot of talk online. I'll be like, okay, I want to watch it. But yeah, I fell out of watching it week to week as well. So I mean, I think this will really get people energized for it. And the one problem with their TV is, since it's only an hour and you're trying to get some big storylines across while giving the younger guys and gals time to, actually work and learn, it seems like a lot of people get left off of the show. So I think the 2 hour format,
it is only an hour. Yeah, it's like sometimes 3 segments.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on, and they don't want to have like Attitude Era matches where it lasts like 3 minutes and you got a screwed finish,
Bro, that's what people want to see, bro.
Did you know his son has a podcast?
No, but I don't think I want to listen to that.
It's called Son of Russo.
He's the son of something.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't have a New York accent, and he doesn't say bro, so I'm already tuning out. I'm just like, nope, not interested.
Who the fuck is this?
The hell?
That'd be his son?
Right? Yeah, it's like, you don't say bro. But anyway, yeah, I guess it's time. We did want to talk about, or I wanted to talk about All Out coming up. It's, from the time the show drops, it's coming up this Saturday, August 31st. It's a big night. It's their last pay-per-view before their show starts in October, I believe, beginning of October, end of September. I can't remember the exact date.
Beginning of October, but I think they have a special coming on TNT the Friday before All Out.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good stuff. TNT is pushing it. But yeah, All Out is going to be in, I didn't even know this was a place. They're saying Chicago because it sounds better, but it's like the old WWE deal where they're like, it's Chicago, not Rosemont. Damn it. This
like
is
WrestleMania 3 didn't happen in Detroit, it happened in Pontiac, but we don't say that.
Yeah, no. Detroit, pal. Damn it. This is taking place from Hoffman Estates, Illinois. I didn't even know that was a place.
So
Speaking
the
of which,
Rosemont Horizon, right?
No, it's in the Sears Center Arena.
Yeah, the Rosemont Horizon. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Speaking of which, you went to Chicago. You made a pit stop. What was that like for you?
It was fun. I was in Cubs territory. So everyone was in Cubs gear, and there's a lot of Bears gear. So there's,
Bears.
I didn't realize it was like distinctively two different territories, White Sox and Cubs. It was fun.
It's kind of like when we went to New York.
It's not something I'm craving to go back to. Not for any particular reason. It's just, okay. It was fun.
Yeah.
I'd rather go back to New York or Toronto personally.
Yeah. It's kind of, I like it. I dug it. But last time I went, I had a pretty crap experience because I had my car towed. So, yeah.
I only went to go to Wrigley Field, honestly, and that was epic. That was a bucket list item for me.
Well, I'm not going to say where I got food poisoning, but if anybody's listening, the Hard Rock Cafe has some cool stuff to see, but I don't know if I don't know if I'd eat there. I'll just say that.
You're like the 12th person to tell me this, so.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that. I went there, and my dad was like, "You should have talked to me before going. I would have told you." Now I'm like, "Well, how was I supposed to know?"
It's a well-known fact, Before you go to Hard Rock, always talk to your dad. Duh.
Well, yeah, he'll tell me about where I should eat and what Dean Cain movie is coming up to watch. Inside joke, bringing it back. All right, well, diving into All Out, the pre-show match is going to be a 21-woman casino battle royal. What?
It's going to be bad. Their pre-shows have been bad.
They have been, and this is going to be a cluster of a match between a bunch of women who aren't very good in the ring, some other women who are learning, and other women that are pretty decent. So I had one guy, because I said their women's division sucks, and one guy was like, well, who in their women's division sucks? I'm like, name someone. Them. Like, B. Priestley is good. Riho is good, and there are I'm trying to think. There are a couple others that are decent. Awesome Kong is good, but for the most part, most of the women in that division are horrible. Even the Joshi are not very good. Like, they're just like, send them back to Stardom, please, because they're not good.
Bad.
Not good. Bad. The announced names are Britt Baker, Allie.
Already bad.
Yeah. Teal Piper, which is the daughter of Roddy. Nyla Rose, Yuka Sakazaki, Brandy Rhodes, Jazz, Evilise, who is actually pretty good. I don't know if she's signed with them though. Sadie Gibbs, and somebody named Big Swole. And I assume it's not the bodyguard of Master P that used to wrestle on WCW.
No, it could be.
It might be. That's awfully weird. Like, why would you go by the name Big Swole? Like, I get that Big Swole wasn't like, oh man, do you remember Big Swole from WCW? But like, still, like, throw it in your Google machine. Like, damn.
Look, I'm sorry if this comes off sexist. It's not, but that does not sound like a female's name. I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't. Like, I'm big and swole. Like, okay.
That's what bodybuilder, bodybuilding men say.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, to each their own. But hey, that match.
That'll be my pizza run right there. I'll go grab pizza while that's going.
Right. Well, as Jim Cornette always says, for the kind of people that like that kind of thing, that's the kind of thing those people like. So whatever.
Yeah, if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, no judgment. But then we got Riho versus Hikaru Shida. I can't remember which one Hikaru Shida is. Riho, I remember her because she actually impressed me so far. She was the one in that tag team match. It was like her and B. Priestley were the only two that could wrestle. The other Joshi that teamed with B. Priestley and Britt Baker, they couldn't wrestle worth a lick. So
Britt Baker, she's the one that says she's a doctor, right? But she's just a dentist.
Oh, good Lord.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Kudos to whoever gets that reference.
Then we got Darby Allin versus Joey Janela versus Jimmy Havoc in a three-way. No, they didn't specify if it's a triple threat or an elimination. I don't know.
Well, it's just going to be a bunch of flippy stuff with some hardcore stuff from Havoc.
I don't know how much flippy stuff there's going to be, but all three of these guys.
Jimmy Havoc. That's enough said.
Well, Darby frickin' Allin. There you go. But Darby Allin, Joey Janela, and Jimmy Havoc love them some death matches. So we're probably going to see everything but the kitchen sink, and blood is going to litter the frickin' ring. So if you like that kind of thing, this match is for you. So
but we're killing the Attitude Era, right?
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, we've got Cody versus Shawn Spears. For as much as
I'm very intrigued by this, only because of his Instagram.
Well,
Spears is trying hard to build this up, so he has my attention. I'm not going to say anything more. He has my attention.
Well, here's a couple things for you. We got Cody, who I mean, I don't think he's the best in the ring. He's had some boring matches in the past, and I know you and Ramon have been vocal about not being big fans of him.
I don't hate him. I don't think he's bad.
You just don't. You're not impressed by him.
I definitely think he offers something.
I think the stuff he's done so far in AEW, I think, has been really good. He's trying hard. I thought what he did All In last year, I thought was great with him and Magnus or Aldis.
No, you were right.
Yeah. But that's good stuff. And Shawn Spears is trying to reinvent himself. He's got Tully Blanchard as his manager now, which just blows my flipping mind. It's good stuff, man. I
will say this: Cody probably has one of the best theme songs in all wrestling.
Hell yeah, I'll jam that in the car just driving down the road. But that's something to be said about Downstate too. This one
That's why The Miz has one of the best themes too. There you go.
Hell yeah, and Zack Ryder. Do you remember I popped when he came out to that remake of Downstate?
I do.
I freaked
out. We're talking schoolgirl at Justin Timberlake concert pop right there.
Yeah, I texted you. I'm like, oh my God, he's coming out to it. But this match I'm super intrigued for just because it's going to be #flippy crap, but I love both these teams. It's the Lucha Bros defending their AAA tag team titles against the Young Bucks in an Escalera de la Muerte match, which translates to Ladder of Death. It's a ladder match. But
look, this is where we kind of disagree. I'm kind of tired of this match. So
I am a bit, but the Young Bucks.
I think I'll see the Lucha Bros in a couple weeks. They have one more match at APW, so that'll be fun.
Are you going to shout Cero Mierda at
I think they yelled that the whole time. Yeah.
I freaking love it. I remember the first time. For those of you that happen to hear the Triple Mania review episode with Santiago, you know that he's a big Lucha fan. He's been watching these guys longer than I have because they were in Mexico first, obviously. But when he saw the American crowd do that, he was like, dude, that's freaking over when they're yelling Spanish stuff at him. I'm like, right? I love all these guys. The Young Bucks have been stepping it up, I think.
I thought they had one of the better matches on the last AEW show I watched.
Hell yeah.
I think it was double or nothing. I didn't watch the other two.
Yeah. I will say this. I think the funny thing is this match is going to happen, and then at the next AAA big show, they're going to rebook this match and have the Lucha Bros go over. Because that's just been the way it's
petty
been.
on both parts.
I know. It's like, hey, we'll let you book this match, your guys go over, but then we're going to rebook it and our guys go over. Like, damn, like, come on, dude. It's not the territories anymore where people can't see this.
Well, there was a long run there where Ring of Honor faced New Japan a lot of things, and New Japan took every match. And it was at a Ring of Honor show. It's starting to get annoying.
Weird. Yeah. I remember you were like, let me guess, the New Japan guys went over. It's like, yep. This next match will be good, but I like one guy in this match more than the other three. It's the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, versus the Dark Order, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson. Beretta's my guy out of this match. I'm not a huge fan of the other ones. I will say the Dark Order does cool stuff. But this match is the winner gets a first round bye in the tag title tournament. So basically these two teams...
It seems like it's been dragging on forever, by the way.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, both these teams had a match to have a match to not have a match. It's crazy to follow when you say it like that.
That's a mouthful.
I know, right? These last two matches are the ones I'm looking forward to the most. I'm sure you are as well. Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega. That one, I think, is going to... If that one doesn't tear the building down, something's wrong. And then the main event is Adam Page versus Chris Jericho for the AEW title.
Look, I don't want to be that guy, okay? But if Jericho wins this title, it's just going to solidify everything I've ever said about AEW and being like TNA. I'm sorry.
He's going to win the title. He's going to win the title.
Just like TNA, and then it's going to be WWE guy.
Then they're going to play My World by Dale Oliver. They're going to blast that over the sound system. And, good Lord. I will say this, Chris Jericho.
It should not be Jericho. I'm sorry. It should not. I don't even like looking at wrestling that way, as everyone knows. And I'm just like, no. Like, it shouldn't be Hangman. It should be Kenny Omega, just in my opinion. But whatever. I'm okay with Hangman. He's cool. But
yeah, he's the obvious choice, like Omega. But yeah, I mean, I will say this: I wouldn't mind down the line Jericho getting the title. I don't have a problem with that at all, and he's still known in the mainstream and known by casual fans. So fine, cool, but not the first, because that's just saying he came in from WWE and beat all our guys. He's better. Like I always hated that. Because TNA always did that. They're like, hey, this guy from WWE just comes in, and he's huge, and he beat all of our top guys. WWE reigns supreme in TNA yet again. I'm like, that's basically what you're saying.
How many guys from Pride came into UFC and beat all their top guys? None. Think about that. This is a legit sport. Just think about that. You know?
Well, what about, didn't Anderson Silva come from Pride? Or
he had a fight or two there, but he wasn't a Pride guy.
Oh, okay. What about Vanderlei Silva?
He didn't really have a winning record in UFC. He beat a couple of guys, but he didn't come in and dominate everybody. He never held the title. So
this is really bad to say. The only thing I know Vanderlei Silva, like, not the only thing, but the biggest thing I know Vanderlei Silva from is the epic promos that Chael Sonnen cut on him.
Yep.
That's that's the best. I love Chael Sonnen. He's an idiot, but I freaking love him, dude. He's crazy. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to this though. I'm probably going to order it, and I'm looking forward to it. But you know, I have to, because if I'm ever going to talk crap about it, I have to at least see it. I don't think it's right for people to talk crap and not watch it. So. Yeah. And if I put my money out for it, I think I can get away with talking crap because they got my money. So screw you. For all the haters, screw it. If they don't like it, well,
yeah. I mean, I pay for the WWE Network. I watch their stuff. I give them my money on a frequent basis, okay? Not just for the network, but on multiple occasions throughout my entire life. So I think I've, like, And I'm not sitting there crying and whining and everything sucks and whatever, because if I hated it that bad, I wouldn't be an idiot and still pay for it. But
hashtag cancel the network.
Yeah. But I think I've earned my right to critique them when I feel the need to.
If you pay money for it, you're totally able to. I can't stand it when people stream stuff and they have the audacity to complain and cry about it.
There were a few times hey, statute limitations. All right, it's ran out. But anyway, I streamed stuff in the past, and it was glitchy.
I've always paid. I can show proof.
But it was always glitchy, and I was like, damn it, get your act together. I'm trying to stream this illegally.
Right.
But yeah, I think that'll wrap that up for that. We'll take our only break. When we come back from the break, we will cover Vengeance 2001. This was
what happened on that night?
Jericho won 2 times.
Jericho beat Austin and The Rock in the same night.
Oh,
I don't know if anyone's ever realized that. I don't think Jericho's ever said that in his life.
Yeah, I don't think he beats it home enough. It's right up there. I don't think he says it enough. I don't think Paul Heyman drove home enough that Brock Lesnar was the one in 21 and won for The Undertaker. I don't think he mentioned it that much. But all right, we will get to that. And this show was randomly pulled out of a hat by me because I thought, you know what? I want to watch this damn show. And we might as well review it, because why the hell not? But when we come back, it's all about that.
This is Brew Crime, a craft beer and true crime podcast.
I'm Mike.
I'm Beck.
And I'm Nina.
And we're your hosts.
We pair a true crime story with a craft beer.
That Nina will probably hate.
Yeah, probably.
Whatever. You can find our show on all your favorite podcast apps, and if you can't find it, contact us, and we'll try and change that.
We can be found at brewcrime.com or on Twitter at brewcrime, on Facebook at brewcrime, or if you want to go to our group, it's group/brewcrime on Facebook, or on Instagram at Pacific Beer Chat.
Join us as we discuss the horrible crimes that surround us and try not to giggle.
I'm Michael, the host of the semi-monthly podcast In a City Like Yours. Join me as I chat with interesting people with interesting life stories. You can listen to the podcast on all major podcast platforms, including Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn. You can follow us on Twitter at IACLYS Podcast, as well as on Facebook and Instagram at In a City Like Yours Podcast. Please feel free to let me know what you think, and keep coming back for the many interesting stories in a city like yours.
Hey, we're Renee.
And Adrian.
And we are
the Outlandish Historians. We're sisters,
nerds,
and lovers of all things history.
Except bell bottoms. Keep that in the past.
Come hang out with us on the Dear World of History podcast, where we'll frolic through time
as we chat and geek out over the good, the bad, and the downright ugly history of the world.
We promise you don't have to be a licensed historian to travel through time with us.
Maritime disasters?
Check.
Historical serial killers?
Check.
Glamorous and petty royals?
Check and check. You can find us almost anywhere you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Follow us on Twitter at Dear Historians and Instagram at Outlandish Historians.
So chug that drink me bottle and come on down the rabbit hole. It's going to be a wild ride.
All right, we are back, and besides what we just mentioned, or what we just played for the promos for the network, go to bigheadsmedia.com, and you can see all the other great podcasts there. Lots of great categories, different stuff. I mean, if you're into sports, TV, whatever, I listen to a few of the podcasts. There's one, Greg, I don't know if you know this, that covers two of your favorite shows of all time, compares and contrasts and reviews episodes. It's called How I Met Your Friends. That covers How I Met Your Mother.
You told me
Friends.
this, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. It's hosted by two ladies, and I was thinking about I'll be honest, I haven't seen that much of How I Met Your Mother.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I've seen it off and on. I'm in the process of watching Friends. I've seen a lot of it, but there's 10 seasons?
Yep.
Yeah, so there's a lot to watch, all right? But anyway, getting into Vengeance 2001, I forget where this actually took place. Do you happen to remember
San Diego,
off the top
I think.
of your head? Yeah,
I think it was San Diego. Yeah, pretty sure it was.
Okay, well...
I don't know why I know that. It's random.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, San Diego, California, at the San Diego Sports Arena. Is it still called that?
Yes.
Okay.
And nobody of note plays there.
That's weird. That's kind of like here in Cincinnati, the U.S. Bank Arena, we have a minor league hockey team that plays there. That's it.
I think that's what plays there, actually. Yeah.
So weird, and it's a big city. But this was the last pay-per-view of the year 2001. It took place on December 9th, and it was attended by 11,800 people, which doesn't seem like a lot.
I think that's a small building. It might have been a sellout.
Yeah, it said, I'm looking at it. They say it's about, for lacrosse, apparently lacrosse plays there. It's almost 13,000. So, yeah.
Take the set, yeah.
I guess it's called then people can correct me if they know the correct pronunciation of it, Pachanga Arena.
That sounds right. I think it's an Indian casino resort, if I remember right, something like that.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. Yep. The one thing you will notice, the biggest thing of note on the poster.
Chris Jericho beat Austin and The Rock on the same night. Yeah.
God, the biggest thing of note on the poster is Triple H is on the poster with. I can't tell if it's just his face is dark or if he's got blood on his face, but it's him leaning on his sledgehammer. And Triple H was injured at this time and hadn't been around for
he was projected to return at this event, but they said wasn't ready yet. And it would be 4 weeks later.
Yeah, and I think that was smart.
Pretty close.
Yeah, I think I was smart the way he did return. And the...
Well, let's see. San Diego and some small arena or Madison Square Garden. Yeah, I think they made the right choice.
Right, yeah. And I think it had a bigger impact the way he just came out, cut a promo, and all that. But yeah, and the I can't remember what they call it. The transition in the show, where they showed the logo and whatever, there was a sledgehammer that would come down and animated sledgehammer that would come down and nail the logo. So you can tell they were pushing home the Triple H thing. And it just didn't come to fruition. Well, I guess this was the final WWF pay-per-view to air on Channel 4 in the United Kingdom as well for any of our UK listeners, which we have a couple. So thank you all for listening, by the way. The opening
Rock!
Oh, and we also have a couple listeners in Mexico and Japan now, and Norway and Canada. Thank you all.
Well, TJ from Mexico, you're welcome.
Right? Now, when you say TJ, do you mean me or Tijuana? Because either way, yes.
I ain't touching that.
What? I heard Tijuana's a great party city. I
thought you were going cliche Mexican because I'm half. Haha.
Oh, well, no.
Well,
I didn't even think about that. But I wasn't thinking that, but now I am.
BS!
The opening package of this, was
look at that package, pal.
Freddie Blassie sits down and watches old footage of classic WWF and WCW champions wrestling through the years, and they've got that. I don't even know what that song is. It's an old classic song that dun 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 dun, dun and they're playing that. It's freaking great.
Can we just acknowledge real quick how awesome his voice is for recapping stuff?
It is.
I mean, everyone goes straight to Morgan Freeman, and rightfully so. But, man, his was so damn good.
And you wouldn't think that either.
Go back. Anyone who wants to see how epic it is, go back and watch the WrestleMania 17 opening. That's where it was probably the best ever.
That might have been the one that Bruce Pritchard said that made Vince cry.
It probably was. I can't think of any other epic opening like that.
Yeah, because he said there was that big opening with Freddie Blassie's voice and everything, and he said it always made Vince cry.
It has to be that one.
Yeah.
I can't think of any of the WrestleMania where his voice opened it, so.
Yeah, I used to love his voice and everything to do that. He missed his calling doing that.
It just goes to show you, though, just like how awesome he is, though. That was
Oh, yeah. Multi-talented. He was a good manager, too. But they really put over this title unification deal that's going on tonight. They don't even call it the WCW title anymore. Now they're strictly calling it the World Heavyweight title.
Right. They didn't acknowledge that on TV, though. Like Vince said, it's no longer a WCW title, just the world title.
Which made sense because the month before, he said WCW is officially dead because they beat the Alliance at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
So a lot, by
sense.
the way. Yeah. Well, a lot happened between Survivor Series and Vengeance. Like, a lot. WCW got shut down.
Well, WCW in quotes.
Well, yeah. The Alliance, quote unquote, got shut down. So Shane and Stephanie had to, again, in air quotes, sell their stock in WWF. And Vince said, well, so I'm the sole owner now. But no, Ric Flair makes his return to WWE because he hadn't been there since WCW shut down. And he said, I bought out their stock. Now we're 50-50 partners. And Vince did that infamous tugging on his ear.
Pal.
Yeah. And Vince did that where he keeps tugging on his ear, like that famous gif.
Did you ever hear the story where Pritchard said what that was?
Yeah, he said it was supposed to be a cue, but the music took a second to start playing. So so he just started like yanking the hell out of his ear, like he was trying to milk it. But hey, it made for it, nobody forgot it. I'll say that. Yep. And the other big thing was Austin was just a heel, and the leader of the Alliance. Now he's a babyface. Well, first he got stripped of the title by Vince, and now he's a face. Vince is a heel again, and Flair is giving the title back to Austin.
Yes.
Can you keep all this straight? Because it's hurting my head, and we just started. Either way. This is such convoluted crap. It was entertaining. I was 11 years old at this point, and I loved it. So I'll say it was like this was one of the heights of my fandom. Mr. McMahon comes out to start the show. He comes out to, you know what I always missed, and going back and watching all. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick, I need to point out the theme song to this pay-per-view was epic. Needs to be said.
Sinner by Drowning Pool. Yeah, that was. Yeah,
just gotta say it was an epic theme song.
To any of you who don't know, the debut album by Drowning Pool is just basically a greatest hits album.
It really is.
It's just like
WWE played to death. I think they used 3 songs out there for pay-per-views.
Oh yeah. Well,
the first 3 tracks they used. Yeah.
Oh, and then every time ECW was mentioned, let the bodies at the floor. Had to do it.
They did. They beat that one on the ground. But Sinner was great.
Yeah.
The other one for WrestleMania 18, Tearaway. That was great too.
Oh gosh, yeah, I love that one. You know what I missed? I didn't notice it at the time, but looking back, retrospect, McMahon did this. He didn't overdo this, but he did it enough where it was like, man, I didn't even notice. McMahon loved doing a lot of coming out at the beginning of shows, cutting a promo, and he would foreshadow the end of the show. Do you ever notice that stuff?
I didn't realize he foreshadowed the end, but...
Well, because, he would always say something that would come back around at the end of the show, and it was like,
Well, he guarantees it.
Yeah. Well, there was something... I can't even remember what the hell it was. He said there was a show that that you and I were watching, I think, and he said something at the beginning of the show, and at the end it's like, oh, okay, I get it. But this one, he comes out to complain that the crowd was laughing at him when he got his face stuffed up Rikishi's ass on Raw. I can't remember. What happened why he had to kiss The Rock's ass? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember. I remember that. Remember that thing. I don't remember why though.
Yeah, because the whole thing was because Vince. This was at the height of the Kiss My Ass Club, and he did.
And how
something
epic
happened.
was that?
Oh well, yeah, but something happened where he had to kiss The Rock's ass, and he's about to do it, and The Rock's like, "Your lips aren't good enough to be on The Rock's ass." So he's like, "But I have an ass that you can kiss, and it's a slobber knocker." And Jim Ross comes out slapping his ass like freaking crazy. It was just goofy. But then he's about to do that. Ross starts to undo his pants, which I was like, no. And The Rock was like, hold on. I got one better. Go sit down, JR. And JR leaves. And then Trish comes out, or he says something about she'll leave you stratified. And Trish Stratus comes out, and Vince gets all excited. And he's like, kiss that ass. And he starts going to kiss the ass, and like Rock stops him. He's like, you sick freak. Freaking love that. And he's like, I got one better for you. And he brings out Rikishi, who was he injured or like
he was gone for a while, yeah.
Yeah, because this was like his big return. And The Rock he was like, pucker up, and he grabs Vince's head and just like shoves it up Rikishi's ass. Why is this a thing with Vince, by the way?
Because he likes doing anything for pops. I don't know.
Gotta shove my face up an ass, pal. Big sweaty ass. According to Pritchard, he has a thing for big dimpled asses. I don't get it.
I don't want to know.
He said that was his biggest regret with Yokozuna, is that he covered up his ass too much. I'm like, of all the things you can regret, why? Maybe that's why Big Daddy V didn't get over, because he showed too much breast and not enough ass.
Can we move on?
Either way. He says, here's the foreshadowing. McMahon says, he who laughs last laughs loudest. Then Ric Flair interrupts him to basically kick him out of the ring and introduce the first match. And Albert and Scotty Too Hottie come out. And they dance around Vince. Yeah, it was Scotty Too Hottie and the Hip Hop Hippo. Real nickname, by the way. But either way, they were taking on the team of Test and Christian. This was pre-Un-Americans, correct?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, because
about half a year away.
All right. But yeah, so they did a lot of teaming together, these two. Well, you know,
throw the Canadians together, pal.
Test could be just as big as Kevin Nash, bro. He looks just like him. Not to speak ill of the dead, but no. Oddly enough, the crowd was loud as hell for this match. These guys, like, Scotty was over, and even Albert got some reaction. Albert got the win.
Scotty got reaction, and Albert just was there with him.
Yeah, he reaped the benefits. Not to speak ill of the dead, but Brian Christopher, Grandmaster Sexay, whatever, was not here because I assume drug issues. And I'm not saying that to be funny.
I don't remember where it was at this point.
I'm going to say that because, I mean, like I said, not to be funny or disrespectful, but that's a pretty safe assumption. But Albert got the win, by the way, with a Baldo bomb on Christian. So, yeah.
Yeah.
One of them is a former multi-time world champion, and it's not Albert. Edge is defending the Intercontinental title up next against William Regal. They didn't dub over Rob Zombie on the network.
I think they got the rights back to it, yeah.
That was awesome, because when I heard it start, I popped. And like I was sitting on my couch just watching it, I popped. I'm like, oh my God! I love that song. I love Rob Zombie. Regal's theme at this point, by the way, was absolutely horrible. It was like, it wasn't the one that you and I know and love that he currently uses. It was the one
that was his what was that called? The Alliance theme.
Yeah, it was It sounded generic and horrible. It sounded like something. Well, it sounded like something he'd come out to on WCW Saturday Night. So I guess it fit.
Or if he jumped to TNA, that's what they used.
God, yeah. Regal used his knee trembler as a cutoff move. I was shocked about that. But it wasn't quite his finisher yet. But he was still doing the power of the punch at this point. They kept putting that over. The ref inspected him beforehand. But Edge got dumped to the outside at one point.
He didn't expect his junk, though, right?
I assume he
say
did.
that because that's where he hides it.
Well, he didn't have it on him. He actually, Regal, I guess we're led to believe that Regal went out before the show and stashed them, which is ingenious. But
in the turnbuckle, right?
Because Edge gets dumped outside. The ref is checking on him, and Regal goes outside, and it's like in the corner, like under the ring mat.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. And he like dumps him in his trunks. Did you ever hear Bruce Pritchard say he had to carry around rubber ones because he got buzzed by the TSA for having real ones?
Wow. Yeah.
They had legit real ones that he was traveling with, and TSA was like, "What the F is this?" And they pulled him off the side for quite a while. And after that, he was like, "Just give me rubber ones."
Them damn Brits, man. I knew it.
Yeah, got to watch them tea drinking Brits. Damn it.
We're getting a letter.
God. He eventually loads up the brass knucks behind the referee's back, and he goes for the punch, but he gets speared out of his boots, and Edge gets the win. Pretty decent match.
I thought this was really good.
Yeah, you'd think it was a clash of styles, and it wasn't a clash of styles, but it was different.
It's William Regal. I think anything works.
Yeah,
He's
it was really good. Yeah. There's very few people William Regal can't have a good match with. So
Goldberg.
Too soon? He tried. I'll give it to him, and he got fired for it. Ric Flair is on the phone.
Oh, they had to put his ass over on TV. Tony Schiavone said.
Yeah, right. This is my one pet peeve that that I have with WWE that's happened since the dawn of time. Every time they switch to an authority figure's room, they're never watching the show. They're on the phone.
Well, why the hell would they be watching the show? Like, they've already put the show together. They got to be worried about the next one.
Yeah, that's like, you don't have to make sure that everything is running smoothly on the show.
Do you think that Roger Goodell watches football games? Hell no.
I don't think Roger Goodell knows what football is.
Probably a bad example. I didn't want to say Jerry Jones like an owner. He said authority, which is commissioner.
Yeah, I would assume the commissioner of baseball probably watches a game or two. I mean, I'm assuming, but I don't know. Either way, Flair's on the cell phone when Kurt Angle bursts in his room just to tell him that he's better than Ric Flair and he's going to win the undisputed title tonight. Flair just keeps agreeing with him, and he's like, yeah, you're great. That'd be awesome. Yeah, awesome. All right, go do it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, as great as Flair is, Kurt Angle's better than everybody, to be fair.
In the ring, yeah, definitely. I mean, on the mic, Kurt Angle's no slouch, don't get me wrong, but, I mean, it can be argued Ric Flair is one of the greatest talkers of all time. But, yeah, so in the ring, yeah, Kurt Angle, dude, just blow you away. And he doesn't have the same match every time, just changed up a little bit. I forgot this was a thing, by the way. This was feud number 1 out of 500 for the Hardy Boys. Matt Hardy walks into Lita's dressing room, and Lita's wearing a half ref shirt, ref belly shirt, and he talks to her about how he's going to beat Jeff tonight. And Lita says that as the referee, she's going to play fair, and she's not going to Matt, even though she's dating him, she's not going to show favoritism. It seems like he's kind of annoyed by this. But the next match is Matt versus Jeff Hardy with Lita as a special guest ref. Matt spends some time working the leg of Jeff Hardy.
Holy crap.
Bringing it back. On
rollback.
Hell yeah. Roll back. Jeff knocks Matt off the top rope and hits a swanton. Lita doesn't see Matt's foot on the top rope, but I don't know. It's kind of weird, or on the bottom rope, excuse me. It's kind of weird because like he's pinning him one, and then he gets his foot on the bottom rope. She counts 2. He pulls the foot off, and she counts 3. So I don't know. It's weird, but regardless, he had his foot on the rope at one point. She didn't see it.
Yeah, let's just. I want to throw out this out there real quick. That it literally goes nowhere. I think they're a team again by a couple shows later. They literally just drop it.
Yeah, they said Vince wasn't a fan of it to begin with. He didn't even want to. They said they really had to fight just to get this on TV to begin with, because I mean, you've listened to Pritchard's show. He said for some reason Vince goes, "Brothers don't fight," and like
brothers got a hug.
Yeah. You have a brother. I assume you guys have gotten into a spat or two. I mean, I assume you haven't punched each other, but
but you know, no, we've never spatted ever.
You guys don't like argue or get into it at all?
Never.
Oh wow. Well, you're the lucky one. Are you being sarcastic right now? I can't freaking
Very.
tell. Okay. Yeah, because I know like every group of brothers I know have either physically, mostly physically, or through words have fought, quite a bit. That's just what brothers freaking do. Sisters do it, brothers do it, but for some reason Vince McMahon can't fathom that brothers won't get along and they have arguments.
This coming from the guy who's beat the hell out of his own son.
And his daughter. Don't forget that. He had a night. What was it? A night quit match
with her.
Yeah. God, that was a thing. We all that happened, and we all stood by and let it happen. Okay, it's canon, and we can't do anything about it. But either way, Matt gets visibly angry, and he just like storms off like a child. Trish Stratus comes into The Rock's locker room and wishes him luck. The Rock says that after he becomes the undisputed People's Champ tonight, there will be plenty of time to smell what The Rock is cooking.
Yeah.
The Rock's cooking
I'm not going to jump ahead.
The Rock's cooking up a way to get the hell out of there and go to Hollywood. That's what The Rock is cooking. Up next, we get the Dudley Boys with Stacy Keibler. I didn't hate
because that pairing makes sense.
Roll Tide. That's all I got to say. I can't believe
how
I just
Roll
said
Tide
that,
with Stacy looking.
Right? They took on the team of Big Show and Kane, which this was like, I think, the first time they teamed, for the undisputed tag team titles.
That's I forget why that team's even together, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know, but the Dudleys are obviously big guys, but dude, they bumped their asses off for Kane and Big Show in this one. They had their working boots on here. The match ends.
Where'd they get those boots at, by the way?
Working boots are us, probably. That's what I would think. But Stacy Keibler gets involved. She gets up on the apron and like distracts him, and like the referee's not looking while Bubba Ray takes the top turnbuckle pad off. Big Show comes in, and both of the Dudleys like pick him up and double flapjack his face into the exposed turnbuckle, and they pin him.
Real quick, help me out here. Who's the heel in this? I forget.
I want to say it's the Dudleys. I don't quote me on that.
Well, I mean, they're coming off the Alliance thing. Okay, I guess that makes sense.
They were one of the Alliance people that actually effing won.
Thus, quote, guaranteeing their own job. Spoiler, by the way, everybody stayed.
Yeah, you're getting ahead on one of them, but yeah, we'll talk about him. But yeah, Lita goes into Matt's locker room to apologize to him. He's like, just like ferociously like throwing stuff into a bag, and then he just like storms out. And that's the last we see of the Hardy Boys tonight. Next up, this was a sleeper. You want to talk about stuff you think would be a clash of styles, man. Rob Van Dam defended the hardcore title against The Undertaker.
I forgot about that match, and I think I shut up. I remember loving this match.
Yeah, well, Undertaker was this was like short hair Undertaker for those of you, Big Evil. I don't think
he had just cut his hair the week before.
Yeah. He wasn't calling himself Big Evil yet, but soon to. This was one of my favorite eras of Undertaker because he did the heel, he did the face, he had some great matches in this era. Like him and Flair, him and Rob, him and Jeff Hardy, like, and there are others, but like those are just off the top of my head. Him and Brock, for those of you
actually, that him and Test at SummerSlam was damn good too.
I don't remember that one. I'd have to go back and watch.
Damn good.
Well, this was during Undertaker's like "You better respect me" phase, and he hadn't been back for too long, I don't think, because they played a clip of when he came out and he had turned heel because he got in Vince's face when JR was supposed to join the Kiss My Ass Club and said he wasn't going to do it. And Undertaker was like, I've been kissing your ass more than anybody for all these years. I've stayed when everybody else has left. And he's like, JR, are you going to kiss this man's ass? And he's like, hell no. And he's like, is that because you think you're better than me? And JR was like, what? And then he just like knocks the hell out of JR and like makes him kiss Vince's ass. Like, I will say that was a pretty good heel turn. I mean, it is the Undertaker, but yeah, who would have called that? But yeah, these two beat each other up all around the arena, through the crowd. Bruce Pritchard said that Vince loved this match and he was super impressed by RVD. And this really made Vince look at RVD like a big time player after this.
5 years later, he'd be world champion.
Yeah, only 5. But then he turns around, screws it up for himself. He got pulled over with weed. Moron.
You didn't see that coming. Come on.
Yeah. I didn't think he'd get pulled over for it, but whatever. But the match ends with The Undertaker chokeslamming RVD off the stage, through a bunch of tables, and he gets the pin. Good stuff, man. And Undertaker could hang. RVD could hang. These guys were just good stuff. You got to go back and watch it. But, well, we get segment 2 of somebody bursting in while Ric Flair's on the phone. But Jericho bursts in. He tells Flair that he's going to win tonight. Kind of a whatever, just more Jericho on TV, I guess. This next match was something. Trish Stratus defending the women's title against Jacqueline. This wasn't the Trish Stratus that we all know and love, by the way. This was like right before she really hit her stride. I
must say, though, if you look at her earlier in that year compared to this, it's 10 times better.
Oh, yeah.
That's not saying much, but yeah.
Yeah, she improved by leaps and bounds. And, I mean, that's a testament to, I mean, Pritchard was saying she worked hard. She trained constantly. She was always in the gym, always in the ring. She really wanted to be great. And, hey, she was great, after a while. So she consistently had great matches. The crowd chanted, "We want puppies" through this match. So there was that. Trish wins with a random backslide, and then her and Jackie shake hands, and then that's the end of it. Because I guess Trish is a babyface now. Rikishi is in WWF New York. Hands up who remembers that crap.
It was called The World, thank you.
No, this was before they changed it.
I know, but we're going to call it The World.
God, that was such a stupid name. The World. Like, really? If it was if that was open today, it would be called The Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But anyway, he was in WWE.
Yeah, duh. I mean, I don't know why you're saying that sarcastically.
I heard the food wasn't very good. The atmosphere wasn't great. It was there.
I heard there was just a couple of wrestling posters on the wall. Other than that, they didn't know it was a WWE thing.
They tried to make it that way because they wanted to attract, just randoms. Rikishi's there talking about being happy to be back, and he talked about having Vince McMahon's head shoved up his ass. So, we get another reminder of that. Because
we needed one.
Yeah. You know how epic the opening promo was for this whole show? Well, they did another, package, pal. It was right
Look
before.
At that package.
Because the rest of the show. Oh God, yeah. Look at that freaking package. But the rest of the show is for the world title unification. So they played a promo to hype it up, and it was To Sinner by Drowning Pool. It was absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. It was just like one of the greatest build-up promos. I was like so excited to watch this by the time it was done. And it lived up to the hype. We got Stone Cold Steve Austin defending the WWF title against Kurt Angle. Angle's singlet was, I'd only seen him wear this once. I mean, maybe he wore it a few times, but it was, the design looked like it was red, all red, and then started to rip off, and under it was like red, white, and blue stripes. It's kind of an original design. Austin had his red bionic redneck vest. That was my favorite, probably. Austin was back to peak babyface. Angle was back to being a whiny heel. That was another thing. He was a babyface working for WWE or WWF against the Alliance, and now he's a heel again.
Well, see, he was a face for WWE, then he turned on WWE to join the Alliance, but then he turned on the Alliance to join WWE, but for some reason didn't go back as a face, went as a heel.
This is big show level turns, man. At one point, Angle locks in the figure 4 around the ring post. I'd never seen him do that before. That was cool. Angle gets ready for an Angle slam, but for some reason tries to kick Austin in the gut. But Austin grabs a boot, spins him around, hits a stunner. 1, 2, 3. You know how it goes. So Austin retains, going on to the main event. This next segment is kind of uncomfortable to watch. Test bursts into Trish's locker room while she's in a towel. He says that he's going to make her the luckiest woman on the planet by letting her kiss him. She kind of laughs at him, and he basically tells her, "You better not tell the bosses because I'm too big to get fired. You can't get me in trouble." And then she gets mad and kicks him out.
He had immunity.
Well, he was saying, he's like, "I'm too big. I can't get fired." And it's like big, not size wise. You know what I mean? Well, I was like, is your argument? Yeah, I know. It's like, so wait a second. Is your argument, you better not tell the bosses that I was trying to get creepy with you, or it's going to backfire on you because you're not as high up in the company as I am. Like, that doesn't play well in 2019.
No, but nothing does nowadays, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, that shouldn't have played well in 2001.
Yeah, right.
But, and if anybody has listened to Bruce Pritchard's podcast a couple weeks ago, they were never lowbrow entertainment. All right, keep that in mind. They were never lowbrow. Some of their stuff was a little crass, but they were not lowbrow ever. We get The Rock defending the World Heavyweight title against Chris Jericho. Jericho's in control throughout most of the match. He goes for a rock bottom on the announce tables, but The Rock blocks it and hits a DDT through the tables. Jericho actually uses the breakdown at one point. For those of you that don't remember, it's the skull-crushing finale. So that's another thing the Miz ripped off of Jericho. Yeah, basically. Mr. McMahon comes down and distracts the referee at one point so The Rock can't get the pin. Rock grabs him and yanks him into the ring, starts beating the crap out of Vince. Behind the referee's back, Jericho low blows The Rock. He hits the rock bottom and pins him with The Rock's own freaking move. That was pretty cool. Something I hadn't seen before. After the match, Jericho's celebrating with the title, and he's all happy for a moment. Then you hear the glass shatter, and he gets this look on his face like, "Oh crap, I forgot about Austin." But before the match even starts, Kurt Angle comes down and takes Stone Cold out with a chair shot, and then The Rock comes out and hits a rock bottom on Jericho. He was already out there, but he hits a rock bottom on Jericho. And then he chases Kurt Angle to the back. So just already we got a bunch of gaga to start the match. But now it's finally here, main event time. Jericho versus Austin, undisputed WWF title. Austin beats the brakes off of Jericho for quite a while. Just beat the crap out of him. Most of the match is just a brawl outside of the ring. Once they finally get in, Jericho gets the advantage, and the ref gets bumped. Try to follow this, Greg. Try to stay with me. I know you've seen it, but like, if it's been a while since any of you have seen this, this might take a bit. The ref gets bumped. McMahon comes down. He sends Nick Patrick down to the ring because apparently now he's not the evil Alliance ref. He's the evil WWE ref.
Because he has been bought off before and done that already.
He's the ref every time. That's his thing, I guess. But
he's got that look of a ref you just want to hit. So
he's got that look, bro.
I didn't see that coming.
But Nick Patrick comes down to the ring, but Ric Flair comes bolting down there, and he knocks Patrick out. What would have been funny? Time he's done that. Right. What would have been funny is if Flair had Little Nate with him as his ref. But Flair knocks Patrick out. McMahon grabs Flair and throws him face first into the ring post. Austin takes out McMahon. And then Austin makes Jericho tap to the walls of Jericho, but the refs are down. Booker T comes through the crowd, grabs the WWF title, blasts Austin in the back of the head with it, and knocks him out. And they keep putting over, he doesn't even work here. He's been fired. And yeah, so that's what we were talking about. He still keeps his job, even though he's quote unquote fired. But yeah, he's knocked out. The ref wakes up, or the ref starts to wake up, and McMahon like throws him back in the ring. Jericho gets the arm on Austin. 1, 2, 3. Jericho wins. He's the new undisputed champion, the first ever undisputed champion. And because of what I said earlier about the foreshadowing where McMahon says, he who laughs last laughs loudest, McMahon goes up on the stage and does like some exaggerated laughing. So like on the stage, just letting you show that, just showing you that, you know, he got one over on Austin and Flair. Pyro and confetti blow. Jericho celebrating. I will say this. If anybody said they called this, they're lying.
I honestly, going into this, Jericho was the last person I thought was going to win it.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Austin, and then I thought Rock, and then Angle, and then Jericho was dead last.
And I realized there was a lot of gaga and BS and whatever in the match, but seriously, Jericho beat the two biggest names in the company. Like
depending on who you ask, you beat half of wrestling's Mount Rushmore, you know, depending on who you ask. So, you know,
there you go, man.
I need to point out one thing, a story I heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently when Austin came out, he forgot the WWE title. So when Booker came out, he had to have it in his hand already to hit him with it.
Wow.
I don't know if that's a true story, but it sounds legit because he didn't have it when he came out.
Yeah. How do you forget the title?
Well, he's forgot his vest too at WrestleMania, so it's not a new thing with him.
Good thing he quit drinking, man.
Right.
That's something. Well, did you ever hear the story about Jericho told about how he spent his first night as champion?
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't heard the story, I guess he went to the hotel room. He went to the
It's sad. Sorry, it's sad and hilarious.
It is, but he said he went to the hotel room, everything was closed except this pizza place that he didn't really want to eat at, but he got it anyway. And he took his pizza back to the hotel room, and he accidentally locked himself out of his room. So he had to go down and tell the concierge to let him in, or the front desk guy, whatever. And they wouldn't let him in because he didn't have his ID, even though he was just down there checking in like not too long before that. And in his anger, he accidentally threw the pizza on the ground. So he had to pick it up and eat. And they finally let him back in his room. And he had to eat cold floor pizza and be alone in his hotel room his first night as champion. I hope it got better from there.
Part of me wants to make a San Diego joke. I don't know. Who the hell celebrates in San Diego and doesn't have freaking San Diego style tacos? What the hell?
He said nothing was open. That's hard to believe in San Diego. It's a big city, right?
It is, yeah.
Wow. On a Sunday night. Are they Catholic?
Well, it's No, I mean it's heavy Mexican territory. It's all Christian, I believe.
Yeah, Catholic. So there you go. Yeah, maybe that's why. Well, either way, I will say this: I didn't like what Ric Flair was wearing here this night. He looked like he.
Wow, there's so much I can do with what you just said. I'm only.
Well, I'm saying that because he looked like he shopped wherever Eric Bischoff shops. He was wearing black jeans, black T-shirt, and a black leather jacket. When has Ric Flair
Maybe he was
ever
trying to
looked
be
like that?
Johnny Cash.
Yeah. When has Ric Flair ever dressed like that in the history of being Ric Flair? Like, come on.
I feel like that was Ole's look in The Horseman.
Yeah, every once in a while, yeah, I was going to say Arn, but Arn always had the windbreaker. I don't know. It was just, I'm like, dude, you're Ric Flair. Like, you don't have to be wearing, like, an Armani suit per se, but what the hell? Like, honestly, he looked like, was that just a thing? Whoever runs Raw had to look like that? Because after he left, he's like, hey, Eric, here's my leather jacket. Treat it well. Either way, that was Vengeance 01. It was a show. I didn't think it was bad, but I mean, what do you think?
I thought it was really good.
I enjoyed it. There wasn't a time where I thought, man, that sucked. There were a couple matches that were like, meh, but for the most part, good stuff.
It was good.
Oh, for sure. Next week, we're going to do a all-out review because I assume there's going to be a lot to talk about. You said you're watching, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, and we're going to... This is a tester, people, because some of our review shows are hit and miss. Some of them, you guys flock to them. Some of them, it's below average. So we're going to test it. And it's not like I'm changing up cast members. It's the same guys. So it's not like you're like, well, I don't like that one. Like, you liked them the last 5 times I've had them on. So I don't know. We're going to test it out with All Out. See if it doesn't work, we'll scrap the current review shows. We'll still talk current product. We just won't do in-depth reviews. You down for that?
Okay.
You're like, whatever you say, man. But all right.
Roll Tide.
No.
Can I say that? Is that allowed?
Let's not and say we didn't. But
well,
all right.
Bears have nothing. What can I say?
I don't know. Go Bucks. There you go.
God, no.
Oh, come on. It's better than the Wolverines. Screw them. The only Wolverine I like is an X-Man.
Hey, the Wolverines are going to beat the Ohio State this year, but whatever.
I see you're still in Narnia.
Hey, he's gone, okay? They're losing this year.
He's not gone. He's in the office. He's just not on the field during the game, okay? But he's still there. And the guy who took over the team is his protege. So I know we're talking sports, and none of you give a damn about sports. Except for
it's college sports too,
which makes it better.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah. Well, I
actually have a good sports team. No offense.
Yeah, one.
Don't care, it counts.
I was going to say I might have one as well, so I don't know.
Hey, anyway, the Indians are doing really well. Hey, we're getting off topic now, though.
But next week we will cover All Out. We'll do a review, but the week after that we got something real special. I pop up on the WWE Network, and I thought, ooh, we got to do it. We'll cover ECW's The Night the Line Was Crossed in 1994.
And I think I may be recording that live from Taco Bell.
What? Live from Taco Bell? What the hell?
Well, I mean, it's crap.
Oh,
why not go with crap? I mean, just...
Hey, that last match, I don't know what the quality is of it, but it's a very famous match. Barbed wire rope.
Taco Bell.
God. That's something. Well, that's your go-to, is Taco Bell. But
only for crap. I would say Chipotle, but I don't know if that's as popular. So
it's popular among us whites.
Okay.
We'll talk to you all next week for our all-out review. Later.
Later.